Oh, hi. Sorry, I was reading. As a literature nerd, that's something I do a lot of. But I also watch a lot of movies. And I know that this field can get kind of controversial, especially when talking to other die-hard book nerds, but I don't think it has to. We often get divided on whether movie adaptations of our favorite novels are okay or not. Will they be true to the source material? Will the characters look how we imagined them or how they should or are described in the books? If they don't, then what? Are they even the real character? What if the whole movie is terrible and the writing fails and the characters don't do what they're supposed to? And so, us fans waffle between excitement and terror that they will ruin our favorite books. Again, I don't think this has to be the case. Books and movies both can be enjoyed in their respective mediums because each gives us a different perspective and therefore a fuller view of the piece. As the Open Education Database says, reading has many benefits, such as getting to experience new things as if you were living them, improving brain function like attention spans, and even changing the brain structure itself for the better. It also makes us more empathetic by introducing us to stories and characters we wouldn't normally be exposed to. Obviously, I don't have to harp on that. Book nerds already know all of this about reading. But movies also have many benefits. UCL writes that the focused and social activity of watching a movie has proven long-term benefits on our overall brain function, memory, focus, and productivity. The group activity of watching a movie together also creates unity among a group. And not only that, but it does help with furthering the book experience by getting to see battles and descriptions that we could only picture lived out and acted out. Lynda A from Chapman University points out that the disagreement between books and movies often arises because we compare the two to figure out which one is better. This is not a very helpful analysis. Obviously, many are going to say the book was better and just leave it at that. That is a quote that is often heard among book nerds. But like I said, that's not a very helpful analysis, and we should be asking different questions. Like, is the adaptation a straight or loose interpretation of the novel? Is the adaptation a quality film in its own right? That's very important. And when the screenwriter and director changes any of the formal elements of the novel, is the overall message retained? Yes, maybe the characters have been aged up, but is this story essentially the same? Or perhaps they left out that scene from the book, but does the movie still have the same themes? Is more important than whether or not the character had blonde hair like they did in the book. Lester Ashim states several reasons for the changes that are made in movies, such as condensing the novel for time constraints. A movie is only 2 hours long, and there's no way that they can include everything from the book in that time. They rework non-active parts of the novel, such as when a character is having internal dialogue or retrospection, or the author has commentary, because that doesn't translate well to film. It has to be rewritten so that the audience can follow. It's harder to visualize than to read that type of thing. Also, movies add in more variety in setting and costume, possibly even character, for the visual nature of film. Again, in books, it's more cognitive, whereas movies are more visual. So that is a reason for a lot of the changes. They're just different mediums, and that's okay. Education Week discusses why we need these multiple perspectives in the first place. They foster a societal culture of tolerance, respect, and understanding. Seeing a different interpretation of the material leads to deeper understanding, especially as we dig into why certain changes were made and why we liked the changes or not. As we compare the two, Again, not necessarily saying whether one was better or not, but just to compare them and seeing why the director made that change, or why that scene was left out, or why that scene was kept in. We gain a deeper understanding of the source material, which is what any of us literary folk want, is to understand the material better. And so seeing the material played out in the medium of film is an opportunity for that. And therefore, we should be excited when our books are turned into movies, not hating it. It's not enough to just say the book was better. We have to give movies a chance and enjoy them in their own right, and also enjoy them for the benefits they have for understanding literature in total.